The payor bank, also called the drawee, is the bank that has been ordered or instructed to make payment. Article 4, Part 3 sets forth various rules governing the rights, duties, and liabilities of payor banks. In this lesson, we'll highlight several of these rules. For an in-depth exploration of these rules and more, please refer to Quimbee's comprehensive payment systems outline. The final step in the collection process is presentment. Presentment means making a demand for payment. Once an item has been presented to the payor bank, the bank must decide whether to honor the item by making final payment or dishonor the item and return it unpaid. Under the general rules of accountability, which we'll discuss in a bit, if the payor bank fails to settle an item by midnight on the day of receipt, the payor bank becomes accountable for the item's amount. One caveat to this rule is the practice of deferred posting. Deferred posting allows the payor bank to defer deciding whether to pay an item without becoming accountable for the item's amount. To successfully defer, the payor bank must provisionally settle for the item by midnight on the day of receipt. Then, if the payor bank ultimately decides not to pay the item, it may revoke and recover the provisional settlement by returning the item or sending notice of dishonor before its midnight deadline. Suppose that, on Tuesday, local bank presented an item to National Bank for payment. For National Bank to defer its decision on whether to pay the item, National Bank must settle with local bank for the item by midnight on Tuesday. Let's say that National Bank did so by provisionally crediting local bank's account. In that case, National Bank may defer deciding whether to pay the item until midnight on Wednesday. If National Bank ultimately discovers that there were insufficient funds in the drawer's account to cover the item, then, so long as National Bank returns the item or sends notice of dishonor to local bank by midnight on Wednesday, National Bank may revoke the settlement and charge back the credit.